Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Curio Flow Show. You know how much we love diving into the world of tech and exploring all the mind-blowing advancements, right?
It's an exciting time to be following tech, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And today, we're going to be tackling a topic that's both exciting and, I think, a little bit intimidating, maybe even a little scary for some folks.
Oh, yeah, I can see why.
We're talking about artificial general intelligence, AGI. Now, we've all heard about AI, right? I mean, those algorithms are everywhere, recommending videos, beating us at chess. But AGI, that's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah, it is.
We're talking about AI that's not just smart, but human-level smart. Imagine AI that can learn reasons, solve problems, maybe even, tell a joke.
Write a screenplay.
Exactly. So the big question is, when are we going to reach this AGI milestone?
Well, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be a very rich person. Predicting AGI is tough. Even the top minds in AI, they have these wildly different predictions, ranging from just a few years.
A few years.
Yeah, to potentially centuries.
Centuries. Okay, so we're talking anywhere from tomorrow to the Jetsons.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
The range is that wide.
All right, so let's start with the folks who are saying AGI is right around the corner. And leading the pack there is Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. He's placing his bets on AGI within the next 5 years.
5 years, that's
I know.
bold.
He even said we might already be living in the AGI era, and we just haven't really noticed yet because the progress is happening so fast.
Altman's really putting his faith in the speed of these advancements we've seen in AI, particularly like natural language processing, those chatbots that can have a conversation now. That's kind of a glimpse of what's to come.
Okay, 5 years, that's basically tomorrow. Are we even ready for that? I mean, I don't even know if I finished that book I started 5 years ago.
Well, it's a good question, and I don't think there's an easy answer. But Altman's not alone in his optimism. There are a lot of folks in Silicon Valley who see this exponential growth as kind of inevitable. Like, it's going to happen no matter what. They believe that path to AGI is already clear, and we've got the computing power to get us there.
Wow. But not everyone shares that super sunny outlook, right?
Definitely not. Andrew Ng, he's a leading AI researcher. He's a little more cautious. He hopes AGI is going to happen within our lifetime, but he isn't quite banking on it yet.
So we've got the optimists over here. We got the slightly more cautious folks over there.
It's the whole spectrum.
It is. It's like a whole spectrum of AI fortune tellers. Yeah. What makes some experts so confident while others are a bit more reserved? Is there some secret AI decoder ring that I'm missing?
Haha, I wish. It really often comes down to how they're defining AGI and what they consider to be proof that it's here. Some, like Altman, they're really impressed with the rapid progress in specific tasks. Others, like NA, they're really emphasizing the complexity of human intelligence, and they argue that we're still pretty far from replicating it in a machine.
So it's not just about building a machine that can ace a trivia quiz.
Right.
It's about capturing the whole essence of what makes us human.
Yeah, the creativity, the emotional intelligence, the adaptability, all of it.
Okay, so speaking of different perspectives, Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, he puts the AGI timeline at 2026, 2027. He's basing this on the trajectory of how quickly AI models are becoming more powerful.
Amadei's prediction is interesting because he takes it a step further. He suggests that, human intelligence might not even be the ceiling for AI.
Wait a minute. Smarter than us. Okay, now that is a little unsettling. Does that mean we're all destined to become, the AI's pets? Should I start brushing up on my fetch skills?
Haha. Maybe hold off on that for now. Amadei's point is that there's a lot we still don't know about AI's potential. Maybe intelligence isn't this, linear scale. There could be levels of cognitive ability that we haven't even imagined yet.
Okay, so back to our timeline here. We got the super optimists, we got the cautiously optimistic. Who else is in the running?
Well, there's Miles Brundage. He's the former head of AGI readiness at OpenAI. He expects AI to be able to do just about anything a human can on a computer within just a few years.
A few years. So we're talking about AI that could write code compose music design websites. Hold on, does this mean my job is on the line?
That's the question a lot of people are asking. Brundage's prediction really highlights the potential for AI to automate, a vast range of tasks, especially those that involve working with computers.
Okay. Before we all get too existential about the future of work, I want to throw in a little fun fact here. There's this new benchmark test. It's called Frontier Math. It's designed to see how well AI can reason. And guess what? Even the most advanced AI models struggled. They solved less than 2% of the problems. kind of puts things in perspective, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Frontier math is interesting because it requires this kind of reasoning outside the data the AI was trained on. So it's like, imagine you learn to play chess by studying tons of games.
Right.
Then someone comes along and changes the rules a little bit. Can you adapt?
Right.
That's the challenge frontier math throws at AI. It reveals a limitation in, current systems.
So even if AI can beat us at chess, it doesn't mean it can necessarily think like us.
Exactly. There's more to intelligence than just crunching numbers and recognizing patterns.
Okay, so we've heard from the folks who are pretty bullish on AGI showing up soon. What about the other side of the spectrum? Who's out there pumping the brakes on this whole hype train?
Well, you have some heavy hitters like Demis Hassabis, the CEO of Google DeepMind. He believes we're at least a decade away from AI with human-level reasoning. And then you've got Yann LeCun, he's Meta's chief AI scientist, and he's not even convinced AGI is around the corner at all. He thinks it could take years, even decades, and it won't be this sudden, ta-da moment. It's going to be more like a gradual evolution.
So no robot overlords taking over tomorrow then. Maybe I can put off building that underground bunker.
Haha. Probably a good idea. LeCun's point is that AGI isn't this finish line we cross. It's more like this continuous journey of advancements and refinements. The transition, if and when it happens, might be a lot more subtle than some of these dramatic predictions might suggest.
All right, so we've got a whole buffet of predictions on the table here. Some folks saying ADI is practically here, others saying it's a distant dream. Honestly, I'm starting to feel like I need a flowchart or maybe like a magic 8-ball just to make sense of it all.
Yeah, it can get confusing for sure.
It can.
But honestly, no one really knows for sure when or how AGI is going to arrive. But just the fact that we're even having this conversation is pretty remarkable. It's a testament to how far AI has already come and how quickly the whole field is evolving.
It's wild, right? We're living in a time where the very definition of intelligence is being challenged and redefined. But before we go full sci-fi and start debating the robot apocalypse, I think we should take a closer look at some of these predictions. What do they actually mean for our lives? Because if AI is going to be this major game changer, well, we better start understanding the rules of the game.
I couldn't agree more. That's where the real conversation starts, I think. It's about the what, not just the when, right? What does AGI actually look like? Like, how will it impact our day-to-day lives? That's where things get really, really interesting.
Okay, so let's try and paint some pictures here. Let's say someone like Amadei is right, and AGI pops up in the next few years. What could that mean for, I don't know, our jobs? Will we all be out of work replaced by super efficient robot employees? Like, is that my future?
I don't think it's necessarily about robots taking over. It's more about tasks, being automated. So imagine a world where all these mundane, repetitive jobs, those are handled by AI. And that frees us up, humans, to focus on more creative, strategic, maybe more people-oriented work.
So instead of filing paperwork all day, I could be like an AI whisperer, helping companies, understand their new robot workforce. I could get behind that. Sign me up. But seriously, though, the economic implications are huge here, right?
They are. They're massive. AGI could completely reshape entire industries. Think about healthcare, for instance. Imagine AI analyzing medical images with incredible accuracy, helping doctors with diagnoses and treatment plans.
Yeah. So no more misdiagnoses or waiting weeks for test results.
Potentially, yeah.
That's a game changer. What about education? Could AGI personalize learning, for every student, making school less about just memorizing stuff and more about actually, learning and understanding?
Absolutely. AGI could tailor educational content to each student's learning style, their pace, provide that individualized feedback and support. It could even revolutionize how we as adults learn new skills, how we adapt to those changing job markets.
Okay, so we've got healthcare education. What about something a little more fun, like entertainment? Could AGI create these hyper-realistic video games or movies that, adapt to your every choice?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine these virtual worlds that are responding to your actions and emotions. It creates this truly immersive and personalized experience.
Okay, this is starting to sound less like a dystopian robot takeover and more like a seriously cool upgrade to reality. I like where this is going. But I keep hearing about these scaling laws in the AI world. What are those all about?
Yeah, scaling laws are a fascinating concept. Essentially, they suggest that as we make these AI models bigger and we feed them more data, well, their performance improves. And it improves predictably. It's like building stronger muscles by lifting heavier weights.
Okay, so the bigger the AI brain, the smarter it gets. Is that really all it takes? Just keep making them bigger.
That's the million-dollar question, right? That's what researchers are trying to figure out. Some people believe that scaling alone, just making things bigger, might be enough to reach AGI. Others think we're going to need these more fundamental breakthroughs, like in AI architecture and in learning algorithms.
Okay, so it's not just about quantity. It's also about quality. It's like you can give a chef 10 times the ingredients and a massive kitchen, but will they automatically become like a Michelin star chef? Probably not. They need the skill, the creativity, that certain je ne sais quoi.
Exactly. Scaling's powerful, but it's not a magic bullet.
So back to the real world here. How are these scaling laws actually being used today? Are there any real-world examples?
One of the biggest examples is the development of large language models, LLMs. These models are trained on these massive data sets of text and code, and they're actually behind some of the most impressive AI chatbots and assistants that you've probably interacted with.
Oh yeah, those chatbots that can like write poems and hold a decent conversation.
Yeah.
Those are powered by LLMs.
Exactly. Models like ChatGPT and Google's Bard, those are all built on this principle of scaling. Their ability to generate human-like text, that's a testament to the power of just training AI on these mountains of data.
It's kind of freaky though, right? How good they're getting.
Yeah.
Like, are we heading toward a future where you can't even tell if you're talking to a human or an AI?
It's a question that keeps a lot of people up at night. It raises a ton of ethical and philosophical considerations, for sure.
For sure. Okay, but before we go too far down that rabbit hole, let's stick with the more practical implications. If we just keep scaling up these AI models, what kind of impact could that have on, let's say, healthcare?
Well, imagine AI systems that can analyze medical images way more accurately than humans can, leading to, earlier diagnoses, more effective treatments. Or AI-powered drug discovery platforms. They could identify promising new treatments for diseases that we just don't have cures for right now.
So we're talking about a future where AI could help us live longer, healthier lives. That's amazing. What about other fields like finance? Could AI help us, I don't know, make smarter investments, maybe even prevent economic crashes?
Potentially, yeah. In finance, these larger models could analyze market trends with crazy speed and precision, identify patterns that humans might miss. They could help manage risk-optimized investments, even give personalized financial advice to people.
Okay, so we're talking about a future where AI isn't just a cool gadget. It's like a fundamental part of how we live, work, and interact with the world.
Yeah.
But let's be real for a second. There are some potential downsides, right? Like, what about bias? If AI is trained on data that was created by humans, couldn't it inherit all of our biases and prejudices?
That's a huge point. It's something researchers are really, really aware of. AI systems are only as good as the data they're trained on. And if that data reflects existing biases, the AI will probably perpetuate those biases.
So it's not just about building smarter AI, it's about building fairer AI. We need to make sure these systems are designed, with ethical considerations in mind. But isn't that like a whole other can of worms?
It is. It's a conversation we definitely need to have. As AI gets more powerful, more pervasive, we need to be really thoughtful about its impact on society. And we need to make sure it's used for good, not for harm.
Right, so we've covered a ton of ground here, from the timeline of AGI to the benefits, the risks. It's a complex topic, it's rapidly evolving, and honestly, it's easy to get lost in all the hype or even the fear. But I think it's important to remember that the future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's a future that we're all shaping together. One decision, one innovation, one ethical choice at a time.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And I think that's a perfect way to transition to our next topic, which is the role of curiosity in shaping the future of AI.
Ooh, I like where this is going. Because if there's one thing that really drives progress, it's curiosity, right? That desire to explore the unknown, to push boundaries, to just keep asking, what if?
It is. It really is. Curiosity is like the engine of innovation. It's what led us to discover fire, invent the wheel, launch rockets into space, and it's driving all these amazing advancements we're seeing in AI today.
That's true. But when it comes to something as powerful as AGI, isn't there a little bit of a risk there? Like, what if our curiosity leads us down a path we didn't really intend to go down? What if we create something we can't actually control? I've seen that movie. It doesn't end well.
I know what you mean. It's a valid concern, definitely. And it's been explored a lot, in science fiction. But honestly, I think curiosity, coupled with a really strong sense of ethics and responsibility, that's our best guide. As we go deeper into this world of AI, we need to be mindful. We have to think about the consequences, right? Make sure we're not just asking, can we do this, but should we do this?
So it's not just about the pursuit of knowledge, but also about using that knowledge wisely. It's
Exactly.
like that old saying, right? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, 100%. And that responsibility, it doesn't just fall on the researchers and the developers, it's on all of us. As citizens, consumers, voters, we all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI. We need to have these open and honest conversations about the good and the bad, the potential benefits and the risks. We got to make sure that AI is aligned with our values as a society.
It's like we're all kind of writing this next chapter in the AI story together.
We are.
And the choices that we make today, well, those are going to determine what that chapter is going to look like.
And that's why I think curiosity is so important, because it allows us to imagine those possibilities, to think about different paths and maybe even, unexpected outcomes, and hopefully ultimately create a future where AI benefits everyone.
So as we wrap up this episode of the Curio Flow Show, I want to leave our listeners with a little bit of a challenge. Embrace that curiosity. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Challenge assumptions. Explore the unknown. Because I truly believe it's through that spirit of inquiry that we can unlock the true potential of AI and create a future that's both, innovative and inspiring.
Well said. And remember, the future is not predetermined. We're all creating it together, one curious mind at a time.
Thanks for joining us on this journey of exploration. Until next time, stay curious.